Welcome to another episode of Masterminds of Influence, and I am Maggie Mahlaule. And I'm very excited today because I'm sitting with someone that I know for many years, someone I went to the same school with, and I'm actually very excited that we're going to be sitting and talking today, and I believe that she's going to have a great time.
I hope so too.
Welcome to my space. I always say to people, actually, this is the third episode.
Oh,
and I'm very excited that in this very few episodes that I've had is people that are, let me say, in my circle, people that I know, people that I feel very comfortable with, people that I don't have to scratch my head and be like, what are we going to talk about? We can just talk about anything else. But before we go far, I just want you to introduce yourself.
Hi, Maggie and everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Nkele Moche. Yeah, there's a name Moche. I know everybody's complaining about it, but yes, and I am so pleased to be with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for accepting my invitation. The very interesting thing is that you actually didn't even really know what you were coming to do. You just accepted the invitation. Is it because you know me, you trust me, or I don't know what?
No, sometimes, things go with grace. And, when the Lord says, in your spirit that something is settling, you just say hallelujah.
Oh, yes. So let's go to the surname, Moche.
Yeah.
I knew you as Nkele Moche in high school.
Yes.
And I know you're married.
Yes.
So what is the surname now?
Okay. Can I not go into the surname because I still want to keep the surname Moche for now. Everybody knows me as Nkele Moche.
Yes.
So I'm still doing the Moche surname.
The husband is here, so I hope when he finish here, you're not going to go to court.
I hope not to.
Yes, all right.
I hope not to.
So it takes us now to Dichrimo.
Yes.
Dichrimo Christina Moche.
Yes.
How did you come with it? Because it's a very nice name. It's as if it's some Hebrew, Greek, Latin,
Nigerian
name. Oh, yes. So how did you come up with Dichrimo?
Okay. I've sat and, was looking for names that I can use for my company. I just started, I opened my company and I was like, I need something unique because it's something that I will keep for a long time, actually forever. And I'm not going into business to survive. I need to make a legacy. So I need a legacy business. I need a legacy where even if I'm not there, my kids, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren will still look at this and say, you know what, this is where we started. So I needed something that is not too obvious, but also something that is unique. So I looked at my names and I took the first few letters of my names and boom, we came with Dichrimo.
Dichrimo.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So we've jumped to the latter days.
Yes.
So now let's go back to the base, the foundation.
Yeah.
You're from Madidi.
Yes.
And before you went to Mihakasi High School, where did you go? Which schools?
Okay, I started schooling in Mamonwana Primary School.
Where is it?
It's in Madidi.
Madidi.
So I was a Madidi baby. So I went from Mamonwana to Siamoge Primary School. Sorry, Siamoge Middle School when they used to be Siamoge because now they merged the schools.
A lot of schools have merged, actually, primary and middle now.
Yes, it's now, I see these little babies going into high school. I'm like, where are these babies going? Yeah, but, when life was beautiful and green and, everything was so nice back then. We had our maribes and we had, a whole lot of things. We had our fruits, we had, organic everything. We grew up very nicely, honestly speaking. And then we saw as though, our parents, because I grew up with a single father. And
I know that.
Yes. I always felt my dad doesn't like us. He always grows this food everywhere. And we eat, tomorrow it's morojo, the other day is dinawa. And Why can't we
And
eat
we
meat?
were never sick.
We were never sick.
We were never sick.
Not at all.
Now let's go back to you growing up, being raised by your dad. I know you've got an elder. Is it elder sister?
Actually, I'm the last born of the family.
I remember at high school you were wearing what we call
Bolokwane.
Let's help others out there. Bolokwane is that red and white beads usually when you are the last born at home and your mother or your dad passes away, then they used to put it on. But they don't do it these days.
No, they do.
Do they? Or maybe because I'm really surrounded by mostly Bazalwane kind of people.
Yes, a lot of people are still traditional and they still do it. I think it's mostly people that would choose, no, I don't want this, or, whatever.
What happened to yours? Because I know you used to have it.
Actually, I grew up, I do not know my mother. My mom passed away when I was a baby. And, when I started opening my eyes and I saw life, and I just saw this red and white thing on my neck. And I asked, and they said, it's because you're the last born of the family. Or when you were talking about, my sisters, I've got 3 sisters and I had a brother and I'm the last born. So yes. So when my mom passed away, they put it on me, and I had it for a long time. So when my dad passed away, they put a second one.
Well.
Yes, my dad is laced. Okay. So they put a second one again.
So then you had 2?
I had 2.
Sure.
Yeah. Then I did my grade 10, grade 11, and I was like, not anymore. Because honestly, it's like it made me sick. I always had pain on my chest, on my shoulders, and on my chest. I was a crying baby. It was like my name followed me.
Yeah, true. I think I remember you were very sensitive.
I was a very sensitive
But you were always laughing and smiling, but yet very sensitive.
Very sensitive, yes. So after I removed that thing, and not that I am belittling traditions or anything, I think it goes with person to person, how you are spiritually and traditionally, because we're different. So I'm not a traditional person, and I'm more of a spiritual person. So when I took off that thing, life happened.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Then
So how was it being raised by a father?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, not just a father, but a single father.
A single father. It was different. I'll grow up seeing everybody with mummies, and everybody will be my mom this, my mom that. I think my dad was one of the most cultured and strict but loving father. And he felt that my space is my children's space. I'm not going to put any woman within the space.
So he never brought anyone?
No, he never remarried. Yeah, he had few relationships, but they never matured too much.
Probably maybe because your mother had a very special place in his heart.
I think it might be he felt that I don't want my kids to be raised in anything different from what I envisioned for them. So that has brought me so much light that your kids are very important. So having to be raised by that man, I am grateful, and I am who I am today because he taught me a lot of values, and he showed me tough love, where someone would feel. Then I could not see that he's molding me. Yeah, he's molding me into a massive star. Yeah, yes. as one is one of my business names, Star. So I feel that he molded me into a star, and I thank him for that.
Not true. I think I can relate. Though with me, both the parents were there, but I think with my dad, has been a very tough person when it comes to education and thinking about your future and not just living, but knowing where you want to go. And he always told me that I am raising you to be a human being first before
Yes.
you can be a lady. Because
Yes.
if I'm gonna raise you as as you wanting to be this lady, you would want everything to be brought to you. But I want you to grow up knowing you have to go out there and make things happen. So as you're talking, it's like I'm
You're
listening to
reliving
you, talking
that.
about my own dad,
It's amazing to have dad like that.
Yes, no, it is.
Yes.
It is. I mean, we hear of a lot of stories, like, the child molestations,
Yes.
rapes and all.
Yes.
Fathers raping their own children.
It
truth of the
happens.
matter is that some of these things have been happening even when we were
been
small.
Covered.
But they were covered.
Yes.
But they were covered. But to hear you and many other women out there who were raised by their own fathers, even on my side, my dad's cousins who were my aunties.
Yes.
They were raised by their father.
Yes.
He never remarried when my granny passed away. And even today, when they speak about their dad who's also late, you can see the face changes.
Yes.
They don't know that love of
master.
a mother, but then they know this different love of a father.
And it's amazing because you never lack of the mother love, because this man, this powerhouse is here and raising you and teaching you values and teaching you a lot of things that today you look back. Last week I was talking to my sister and she said, remember Papa used to say 1, 2, 3, and now you think and go back and you see everything that he said. It was like he was prophesying to your life and the people around you. And now everything is just coming to life, and you ask yourself, was this man a prophet, or he's my guardian angel? Because honestly speaking, everything that he said, it is there, and it's amazing.
The power of positiveness and actually positive talking.
Yes.
A lot of times, especially, we're not belittling, but people who don't have hope in life, and especially women who've been hurt by men, whenever they talk about or talk to their own children, they will be, cursing them, being bitter, whatever comes out of their mouth, they'll be like, well, now you look like your father.
And you portray your inner self out and towards someone who's getting everything and, living with it.
And these kids grow up to be what the mother has said, So I'm hearing you saying, it's like your dad was prophesying. He spoke these things into being,
Yeah, he did. And he always said, you know what? You need to work, grow up, go to school, work, and, do not rely on me, because I'm here, my time will pass. And unfortunately, if I spoon feed you, what are you going to live with when I'm no longer there?
I remember when I was turning 21, I was actually staying with my aunt in Soweto. And I was very excited for 21 years without a child and all. And I couldn't wait to come home to say to my dad, that, hey, I'm now 21.
I need a party.
And I knew they couldn't afford it, And then when I told him, then, I actually turned 21 and he said to me, but you are still a baby. And I was so hurt. I waited and I'm like, I'm going to tell him when I'm 24. The last time I told him I was 24, I said, it's my birthday today and I'm 24. And he said to me, you are still a baby.
You're still a baby.
And I thank God for that. Because he's always seen me as this baby that he must nurture. And I'm listening to you talking. It's like, this is what your dad has always been, seeing you as his little princess.
Yeah, I've been that little princess,
Especially last born.
Yeah, last born, and especially with my date of birth.
I remember 31st December, right? 19.
No.
Okay, let's not finish that one. But I remember 31st December.
And
when I've got. I always say sometimes it's a bad thing because I'm good with numbers.
You're very good. Yes, I see that.
I remember dates.
You remember so
colors.
much.
I remember a lot, even birthdays. I don't want to remember.
Imagine that. Yeah, no, it's amazing because when it's that time of the year, everybody's celebrating.
Yes.
And my dad will make a big deal out of that. All the time.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe my sisters and brother were jealous. I don't know.
Yes. But now, having to later, which year actually, or how old were you when you realized or really found the truth that your mom is normal?
because when you're surrounded with the aunties and all that, when you start growing up and going to school, I think at the age of 2 years, when grade two, when I was doing grade two, and I then realized that that woman who's living with us is not my mommy. Actually, she's no longer there. And you then start to get hurt, because when I grew up, I thought she was my mom. And you then realize, people start telling you, you know how people become, because you don't know of the bitterness of life and everything. She's not your mother. She's not your mother. And I came home crying so much. I telling my dad, they're saying that she's not my mother. And yeah, it was so painful. I was at grade 2 when I realized that my mom was not there. And, having to be told the stories of how she passed on. And, I always had this vision in my head. I'm not sure the vision is instilled by the things that people were saying, or is it something that I saw, honestly, when I was that baby, the small baby that I was carrying, because my mom was killed. She was shot.
Sure.
Yeah, and she was shot when I was a baby. But then I remember the space where she was shot and how everything was. And I saw my elder sister crying and rolling on the ground. And there's a body there. It was covered with a white cloth. And
so you remember those things?
Yeah,
now?
I do. No, not now. I remembered them then when I was a baby. And it was something like a vision that was just haunting me over and over. When we grow up, our parents do not realize the power of psychologists and, therapy. It's important.
Very true. Very true.
Kids are subjected to things that they later on come out as visions.
Yeah, no, very true. And it later on, impacts life. It's like you're an adult, but there is a wounded child inside there.
Yes.
Some years back, I did a course called Working with Wounded Children.
Yes.
It was a course that was meant for adults, but then for the adults to reflect on their childhood,
the inner being, their inner self.
Even those that are working with children, to be able to notice the trends and all and on. And I realized that as adults, we've got a lot of pains that we didn't deal with. For an example, they will tell you, even now, they will tell you, you do not cry. You're closing roads and whatever for that person who's passed away. But now, how do we heal? Because
how do you heal?
Crying for some of us is part of healing.
It's part of
and healing. Even for us Christians, they will tell you, do not cry like you are a sinner.
Like a sinner. Yeah.
Come on.
Pain to cry. Is pain. And you cannot gauge pain. You cannot gauge, this is how I'm going to cry. It's going to end here. And the furthest, I'm not going to do that. So unfortunately, you can't control who you are. If you're a crybaby like me, just cry.
Me and you.
Same.
Yes. Yeah. But we thank God, here you are looking so good.
Thank you so much.
And look, we can't change the past.
True.
We can't change the fact that you grew up not knowing your mother.
Yes, and there's a lot of kids. Actually, my sister likes to say, if you don't want this to happen to you, who do you want it to happen to? So do you want that girl who's who to lose their father? Do you want who's who to be in the pain that you're in at the moment? So every pain, it's for whoever is. Yes. So remember, we irrespective of what, it's life. We live through it. That's what is important.
Yes, no, very true. So fast forward, 1998, I matriculated. Well, I've given my age. I matriculated 1998 and you matriculated. So I want us now to talk about every step you took until you reached where you are now. And the reason why is because this is Masterminds of Influence. You are here because of where you are coming from and where you are now. It didn't happen overnight.
True.
With your background, a lot of women who did not have that their own mothers, they got lost somewhere in the systems of life. But then your dad raised you and your sisters, and you had to move mountains to be where you are. There's someone out there who's probably lost hope. There's someone out there who probably lost their mother, recently, and they think, look,
It's
all
the
the
end
doors
of
are closed.
it.
This is the end of
Yes.
it. But then once you start telling your story, they're gonna look at you and they be like,
And look at their lives
and
differently.
actually look at where you are coming from.
Yes.
Look at Madidi, look at Mihakasi. I mean, Mihakasi, maybe we need to tell people, let's go back. Before we come to that, let's talk a little bit about Madidi. What kind of a place it is. Even Mihakasi, the area, how it is.
Yeah, Mihakasi, it's one of the, it's a rural place, and it's where we find a lot of humbled people. Humbled as in finances and humbled as in, spirit and emotions. You find people that still know how to say, this is a plate of food.
That's Madidi, right? You're
That's
talking about
Madidi. And actually, Kabalatsane and Madidi, it's more of the same areas, and how people, how we grew up. We knew that we share food with this family and this family and that family. That's how we grew up.
Yes. But in the time that we were growing up, it was actually not like now.
Yes.
Because when we were growing up, when you had electricity, you were rich.
Very rich. And when you
had
television,
running water, television. That 1 year's group at the back, not this one. The 1 year's
people will come over and pay the rent, 1 rent, 20 cents.
But then they sit outside at the door.
At the door, and they watch through the door. And when you're sitting there on the couch.
With a battery.
Yes, with a battery, yes. When the battery is over, you go there by Big Boy's father and go charge.
So that's where you're coming from.
Yes,
that's where we are coming from.
That's where we're coming from, yes.
Because now I come from Kabalatsane, but then we moved to Hebron.
Yes.
But then it's the same areas.
But it's the same areas.
It's the same areas.
True.
Electricity came later. Running water came later. And the roads, there's no infrastructure. There's not even sanitation.
No, there's no sanitation.
Whatever you deposited today, you're going to find tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow there, stuck in the tissue. Sorry for information overload. But actually, that is how we grew up. And, life was good. Yeah, very
We
good.
learned to survive.
We learned to survive.
We really learned to survive.
Indeed.
Okay, so now they understand where you are coming from. That you were not born with a silver spoon in your mouth, that whatever you have today is not a trust.
No.
And we're not saying anything bad about those that have got trust and all. But
and
we try, and it's good, something that we also have to make sure
we need to do that for our
children.
own kids.
But we want to show that regardless of where you're coming from, you can still
make it.
Rewrite your family history.
Yes, true that.
So now you matriculated. Then what happened after matric?
Okay, after matric, I've got a sister. She's a social worker. She's like pushing education on another level. The husband is educated as well. And they'll be like, girl, you need to go to school. And I'm like, okay, fine. I've registered with University of Pretoria. I've registered with Medunsa. And I start going to Tekis. Yep. I go to Tekis, and what is it that you want to do? And I'm like touching here, touching there. I want to be a dermatologist. I want to be a dentist. Tomorrow I want to be a doctor.
By the way, we are the maths and science girls.
Yeah, we are the maths and science girls, yes. So when I want to do my medicine, I can't get in because my points were down. So I had to do a bridging course. So I did a bridging course with University of Pretoria, Tekis. Then I went to Medunsa to enroll for dentistry. Then, you know what? Before the end of the month.
When are you aware? Before the end of the month.
Before the end of the month, I'm like,
what happened?
I'm not going there anymore. I'm not doing this. My sister was furious. She said, what are you going to do? And she was so angry with me. And I said, you know what? Give me a chance. Can I please establish and find myself? Because this is not my calling. I'm not doing this. Yeah. And she was not talking to me, and I was staying with her and the husband. She was not talking to me for all that time. Remember that time I have a baby. Now I am their baby, and my son is their child as well. So it's like they've got two children that they did not even give birth to. And they've got this stubborn teenager who feels that she understands life. She doesn't even want to go to school. And she said, okay, I want to see what this one is going to do. Then I started doing odd things. There was a friend of mine. We sold counterfeit DVDs. I was going all over the place to Mafike.
I hope you are not wanted.
I'm not wanted. No ways. Then we did that. And, I put my son through crash. She was paying a whole lot of amount back then. Crash, they were paying 1.5 and above.
It was a lot of money back then.
It was a lot of money.
Because that was actually a car installment.
You see? So then, and I did that, and I started, going into becoming an agent. I sold houses.
I think I remember this part of houses from social media.
Yes, I did estate agency. Then I worked. Then I opened my own and property group. And you know what? I felt that maybe this is not me, but I kept on. And it put a good money on the table. Very good one. Extremely. Actually, at that age, I bought myself a car. I found myself a place to stay, and I was good. And I then evolved into doing projects like tenders. Then
that other kind of life.
Yes, that other kind of life, and I did. And I decided not to go to the ones that were just overwhelming, and I did the small projects below 500K. So that's what I did for the longest time. Then with that, because things evolve, and I find myself, this is not going to be a long-term thing. I need to be stable. I need to find my me, my zone, my X factor. Then I opened a daycare center.
Daycare center. Where did you open it?
I started in Soshanguve.
Okay.
And I started with 10 kids. Actually, we thought with my husband, we only want 20, 30 kids. Yes. And we opened in September. By January, the capacity was 10 times what we thought we wanted.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was amazing. Then we decided to, make sure that it becomes bigger. And we started buying properties around, renting properties around, and everything just blew. And with that, we saw an opportunity. We went to Pretoria West. We opened another one. We went to, what's next? We went to Moreleta. Then we went to in Pretoria East. Then now we just opened another branch in Hartebees.
So is branch number, is it 4?
It's branch number 4.
Number 4.
Yes. And in September, this coming year, we're opening another branch in Mabopane. Yes.
And what was the name of the daycare center? Is it one name, I believe, all of them?
Yeah, all the businesses are one name, Dichrimo. This one, it's called Dichrimo Little Stars.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And it is amazing. And the kids, they are healing. It's like I'm using these babies to be young. It's amazing. It's a ministry.
Again.
Yeah. It's a ministry on its own. You hear people of being pastors, prophets, you understand the language, and you know that, people, they've got ministry in singing. Mine is the kids. The Lord always shines upon, what we have started. And, the products are seen. And it's amazing.
Yes.
It's beyond making money, but it's more of, having to build something from nothing. To a flower that blossomed and becoming what you see it is at the moment. And I've got many testimonies.
Wow.
I just get even overwhelmed with the number of messages I receive from a lot of people that says, you know what, mommy, they call me mommy. You know what, mommy, God bless you. And we pray that you open a school very soon. Actually, that is where we're going. We are planning to open a school. We'll start with grade 1 until grade 3. Then the following year, we'll then go
then
to...
Then you carry over with them, with those ones.
Yes, we carry over with them.
Wow. Now, when you say you believe this is your calling, this is your, not just a passion, but it's your calling.
Yes.
I see even when you're talking about those little ones, your face changes. So do you design your own programs, or there's a certain program that you are following?
Okay, I'm designing everything. We do everything. Obviously we do have the curriculum that is given to social development. But with us, it's like we've created our own way of teaching. When you get into our classes, everything is bright and everything is the same. From the nursery to the grade triple R, you go to double R, you go to R. It's still the same thing. The focus point is the same. Just the method of teaching according to the ages differs. And most importantly, the music. Music is very important into these lives. And storytelling is very important. And how you do your your layout of the classes, it's also very important. How it helps the little one to be independent. Yes.
Maybe take us through the day. Today, a child comes, what happens from the moment that I drop my child at your school until I come back to fetch them, or the transport brings them home?
Okay. In the morning, we get from 8, not later than 8 o'clock, because we've got reasons why we need to make sure that we've got a proper number of kids that are in the class, because we don't want to find 10 kids come 30 minutes later and already breakfast has been prepared. So we give them balanced meal. We don't give them milk because we've got a lot of kids with lactose intolerance.
Yes.
So they eat porridge in the morning, and before the morning, they have a morning routine. With their morning routine, they do the songs, they do morning devotion. After the morning devotion, meaning they sing praises, praise God, they pray, they do memory verses, and they go to then do the morning routine, which are the sounds and phonics, months of the year, days of the week, and the works, everything which is visibly on the walls. And then after that, they eat their breakfast. After breakfast, then they take a break. So
porridge is not a breakfast.
No, porridge is the breakfast. I think I jumped the first important aspect of the morning devotion.
Oh, the morning devotion.
They start
before they eat.
Yes, they start with the morning devotion first, and then they get porridge.
So the story of porridge, before you continue.
Yes.
With my son, I had to call the school and ask, when he was still in the daycare, to ask, how do you prepare your porridge? Because he never wanted porridge from home. He always wanted porridge from
crèche.
And even if I'm late, I had to call to say, please leave some porridge for him. And for me, as they were explaining, it was just normal porridge.
No,
but he
was.
always wanted the porridge from school. Do you have the same?
Actually, it's when you're saying that, I'm laughing, because I even have people that their kids are not even part of my school, like Lloyd. Lloyd will always call me and say, Mommy, please tell me how you prepare porridge, because I see on your videos, every child, every parent, they want to know how you prepare porridge.
Videos?
Yes, I do have the status videos that we take when kids are doing certain things, and how kids will say, Mommy, please, I want some more porridge.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I think maybe it's the method of how we prepare the porridge.
But method behind how?
You just cook it and you pour sugar. You cook it with the sugar.
Oh, you cook it with the sugar.
Yes.
17 years later, now I find out that you cook it with the sugar. Because when I called the school, they said, no, it's a normal way. There's nothing. What do you put in? Nothing. Butter? No.
No, nothing.
Peanut butter? No.
No, it's just sugar and porridge.
Sugar and porridge.
And with us, we do it brown porridge. We mix the white mealie meal with maize meal with a brown one. And they always want that one. When they go home, when they prepare their porridge, they don't want it.
They don't want
it.
They
want the one from, even jam. The father called me and said, Mommy, I need to know, please take a picture of the jam that you buy. Because my son doesn't want to take this jam from home. He says he wants the one from school. Kids are amazing.
Maybe it's the prayers that we do that are different or something.
No. It is. Hence, I say it's anointing.
Yeah,
that is anointed, because, everything might seem normal, but it's totally different.
No, very true.
Yes. So then they after the routine, then they do the class works, and then after being taught, then we have the toilet routines. Then they come back. Then at 12 o'clock they get their lunch. They eat. After eating, they sleep. And our sleeping patterns, our sleeping methods, and everything that has to do with sleep. Our kids have the same everything. We've got the same mattresses because no parent bring mattress to school. We've got the same sheets. We've got the same blankets, and they all sleep. One head looking the other side, and the next one looks the other side. So they sleep like that, and it is very, very nice. You know how they sleep. Unfortunately, you can't have pictures like that because social development will be
very true.
Yes,
we have to protect
you
our
have to
kids
protect
as
our
well.
kids
Yes,
as well.
yes, yeah.
So yeah, then after that, when they wake up, they eat the snack, the sandwich. We've got a midday sandwich where they drink with juice or water. Then before 3:00, they get a snack. So everything is the same.
You give them a snack or they bring their own snack?
They don't bring anything at school.
Oh.
We give them everything.
Which is actually very nice because
Yes.
I realize that sometimes I think the other daycares, maybe they don't understand this part or realize this part that
the other one will bring it
an
Danone,
apple, the other one they don't have it, but
and
the
that one
apple
will
is
be
their
crying
favorite.
for that. So we just wanted kids to be uniform. Hence, we have uniform.
Oh, they also have uniform.
They have uniform. They are very cute.
Every single day they come wearing uniform.
Every single day they wear uniform. Only on Friday they wear casual
CVs.
clothes.
So actually they wear CVs on Friday.
Yes, it's like a fundraising.
You actually are already, introducing them to the big school.
The big school. Yes.
Wow,
so
that's
it's amazing.
nice.
And they are extremely cute. From the little babies, they wear uniform. So actually, we allow them to wear uniform. It's compulsory to wear uniform from 2 years, 5 months. But the little baby, even the 4 months, 5 months old, they come wearing uniform.
Oh,
they are so cute because
I need
the
to
parents
come visit.
Please
the
do
one
that.
that is closer to my place. I need to come in when you are there. I need to pop in to see this.
That is
sounds
amazing.
very, very nice.
It is
because I'm thinking as you're talking, all the kids are the same.
It
doesn't matter whether the father is driving a Lamborghini, the other one is driving
they will
a Mazda
meet there outside.
323,
Yes.
As soon as they get inside the gate,
they are the same. We also have the same backpacks. Yes.
You're taking it to another level, girl. Wow.
Yeah, as part of the startup package, they get a backpack, they get 3 golf shirts and a jersey. They wear with blue jeans and sneakers or anything black at the bottom. So, my child is the same as the next child. When that one is wearing, sometimes we find parents dress kids in fancy clothes. You see, so and the other one will start crying, saying, I want shoes like that. I want this like that.
And already they're realizing that actually my family is different from that family.
You see,
at that young
age. Yeah. So it is important to keep kids the same. They are treated the same. There's no special child. Even mine is not special, even if it's mommy's kid. But we are the same. When we say go to sleep, you go into your crib. They've got cots. The small ones, they've got their own cots. So the names are written there. This is Lihumo's cot. This is whose cot. This is Neo's cot. Then everybody goes to their cot. Then they sleep. And they are so well mannered. They know when it's time to sleep. They close their eyes. They sleep.
Wow.
Actually, the reason to open this was to give the community, because I started in Soshanguve. I wanted to give the community that is unable to take their kids to those expensive day schools, to get the best nutritional school, give kids the best food and also the best education. That is the reason why I started.
Where in Soshanguve is this?
In B2XX.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm lost.
Yeah, but block XX B2. Yes. So yeah, we are there. We are based there. When you go to the first branch, it's a main branch. When you go there, a parent would even feel that I'm going back, because you just go down 100 humps and it's RDPs and a lot of chaos. But the minute you just enter the space, it's like
you realize, wow,
is that the place?
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted to give to the community.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes.
It's as if we're talking about adults now going to tertiary or what.
Oh my goodness. We're preparing them for that.
Yes. And what is the feedback? Do you do school readiness for your grade ups?
We do school readiness tests. Actually, we've got a lot of programs. Yes. And We have also we nominate a child to become the ambassador of the school. Yeah, they are extremely good. They are amazing. And when the children goes to school, they always ask their parents, where are these kids coming from? Where is this school? We need to know. And the other time, the other mommy said, the teacher asked, where did this child go to school? And said, he goes to this and this and this school. And they were like, that's the best school ever. My niece is going there. Because that school is just on another level. It's on the level of its own. Yeah, and
now let's go back to the ambassador.
Yes.
What does this little professor has to do? Like, obviously, they are 6 and below. Okay, from what age? Obviously, you can't have a 2-year-old being an ambassador.
The one that we had started from 3 years.
3 years.
She is fluent and she is amazing. She's got this bubbly personality.
What do they do? Do they just stand there, smile at the camera or what?
No. When we have graduations at the end of the year, and by the way, we wear our red gowns and our beautiful red gowns. It's like something else. It's beyond this.
These are the future PhD
graduates. Future PhD graduates. And the person who keeps them is always a doctor, a professor.
What?
Yes.
I thought I'm an extremist, but you have taken it to another level.
You know, the other year, my sister was the one who was supposed to be the one who's keeping the kids.
Because I know she's a medical doctor, just PhD.
No, she has PhD. Yes. And she was called to go to Zimbabwe. And I said, you know what? You need to find me someone. And she just got me this doctor and I was so happy. And this year we got another professor. He's big as well. And it was an amazing time.
Wow.
And all the time, it's like, we are just anointing this into them while they are still young.
Wow. Yes. Wow. Now let's go back to the ambassador because you haven't answered me. This is very fascinating.
Okay. So we nominate the ambassador at the graduation. So the old ambassador will nominate the new ambassador.
How do they nominate them?
The teachers, we pick the kids through videos. I send out videos to parents, say a message to parents, please send me a video with your little star saying 1, 2, 3 or whatever it is.
More like an audition, but
more like
the
an
comfort
audition.
Of their own home.
Yes, so that they are not cranky. So then they send these videos. Then we pick the best video out of that. So the ambassador's job is like on Valentine's Day we've got activities throughout the year. We've got a year plan. So each and every activity that we are going to have, the ambassador will send us a video. Hello, parents. Hello, everybody. My name is so-and-so, and I'm Dichrimo Little Star Ambassador. Please know that on the 14th of Feb, we are having an event, Dancing with My Bestie. Please don't forget to pay for your little star.
Oh. I want to have a child again and bring them to you.
Please do that. Yeah, and they introduce everything. And at school meetings, they will just introduce themselves. Hello, parents. My name is so-and-so. Please welcome to the school meeting.
Wow.
My name.
You already are raising them as leaders. Oh my goodness. I don't think this exists anywhere in South Africa,
you should
in
see
Africa,
the previous
in this
one. She's like,
the world.
Yeah, she's like, she's got it. She's like, and you know what?
3 years old.
Yes. And the confidence skyrockets. It's like, you know what? You just, nurture something, something great in them. And let me tell you, it's not only one child. All the kids will be like, Mommy, when I get to grade R, I want to be like Sbahle Nkosi. I want to be like Letabo Mkhonazi. Mommy, I want, And it's like these kids, they motivate them. And all of them, they become that. It's so amazing.
Sure.
Yes.
Wow. I have to make time to come and see this. This is amazing.
It is. Actually, it's hence I said, I'm using these kids. They're healing me. Yeah, every morning when I get to school, I take videos. My phone is full of this little, I even buy space because I can't delete them.
Yes,
I need to save them on a
Must save
laptop.
them in a
Sometimes I
cloud.
feel that, yes. It's amazing.
So out of these 4 schools,
Yes.
okay, I think it's an unfair question. I want to ask, which one do you like the most? But which one is more like standing out?
Okay, the one
we're
that
we're not measuring the teachers and the kids.
No.
But
yes.
it's more like the environment. Let's
Okay.
rather say the environment.
Because of the number of kids, I think it's because of the amount of payments. The payments differs. Because we've got a lot of kids in Soshanguve. And Soshanguve becomes the most popular one because it's very active because of the number of kids. But actually, all of them, for me, they're my babies. Yes. Yeah, but Soshanguve is always
because that's
out there.
the first one that you
That's
opened.
the first one. Yes.
Wow. But then what actually motivated you to actually open even the first one of Soshanguve?
Because I saw a lot of kids roaming the streets. In the area that I'm talking about, you go into one street, you get more than 20 kids just there while school is on. So I just felt, let me do this with a very affordable amount so that these kids will, even if I won't conquer it, but at least, an inch, you know what they say, if one is saved, there's hallelujahs in heaven.
Oh yes.
So
definitely.
it's one of the reasons why I felt that let me open a crèche, because in honest fact, I'm having a lot of things that I'm doing. I do events.
I wanted us to go to the next ones because we've just been talking about this, which is very fascinating, very interesting, Yes, it's something very different, very unique.
Yes.
So there's events.
There's events as
which
well.
I believe the events came before the
yes, the
crèche,
events. You see now how these kids are just the events came before the crèche. The preschool, they call it. If they hear me, the teachers saying it's a crèche, they will fight with me. It's a preschool.
Yes.
Yes, the events came before the preschool. Yes.
And I've seen your decors.
Yes.
They are amazing.
Thank you
so
much.
First saw, I think you did a sponsor on Facebook.
Yes.
I saw Dichrimo, I think Dichrimo events.
Yes.
And then I saw a lot of people I know who have been commenting saying, congratulations, so well done, girl. And then I went in to check and, girl, who is this? I went into the page and I actually realized it's you. And in that time, I think one of the comments that made me to check was our late friend. Because we had a mutual friend, And then I saw even in her statuses, where she would post your work and all and all. Beautiful. Like
Thank you so
was,
much.
I mean, then the level, the quality that I saw then, and I know you've been in quite some few TV shows, with your decor and all and all. And now the way when you're talking about the kids, talking about the preschools and you're glowing, but now you've been excelling and you're still excelling. Hey, I'm now clapping the mic.
Like me.
You've been excelling on the other side with unique, decors.
Yes. Yeah. That's a story again, that one. Because when I started, I was doing for families and, I liked doing, setups, decors and interiors. And I would do a whole lot of things for my sister's houses. And, I love doing that. Then there's a lady who then said, I need you to do my wedding. I was like, no, I don't do that. She said, no, you do. She said to me straight, no, you